This isn't necessarily going to be short, but it's going to be everything you need to know about clothing if you're into riding your bike for transport. If you buy cotton shirts and pants, they'll wear out and they'll stick to you and they'll be clammy, and cotton kills. So trust me, alright, this is the way to go. You just buy all of your stuff online from a couple of shops. You look for it on special. You get it from Rafa, Outlier and Cafe du Cyclist, okay? Those three will get you out of trouble. Maybe, you know, a couple of online shops like Always Riding or something like that. They deliver it to you, you can send it back, it's no hassle. You just own a tape measure and measure yourself. So, what do you call this thing? This is a merino t-shirt and it's 17.3 micron, which means that it feels like cotton. If you get the other sort of cheaper merino, it's going to feel prickly and you might as well not own it, right? So trust me, you get this stuff, it doesn't stick to you, the wind comes through it when you're cycling, it's not clammy like cotton. You can get rained on and you won't even know it's raining, you'll just feel like a sheep in the paddock, alright? So it works. The oldies used to always go with the cotton, so trust them. Pants, you go with nylon. The reason you go with nylon is that it doesn't wear out in the crotch. These ones are by Rafa, they're pretty well sewn and they have zip pockets so that, you know, your stuff doesn't come out of them when you're riding, and also you can swim in these things. They're an all-in-one kind of shorts. All of my clothes I'm going to show you here haven't been ironed, haven't been washed, because you really don't have to do it very often, you know. You keep yourself in good with your missus by not bothering her down at the washing machine too often. Socks, merino socks don't hurt because they don't stink as much, alright? And you just don't want to stink. You don't want to have to be, when you're travelling or doing stuff, you don't want to have to be constantly having a million pairs of clothes because half of them stink. When you travel, you've got to figure out what shoes you want to take. If you're going sort of the young, hippie sort of hip look, you go with these cock pam ones. These are cool because they've got cleats on the bottom. I use MKS pedals, which come in and out of the bike so you can transfer them. So I've got, you know, the clip-in style ones, or I've got the toe clip style pedals that go with my shoes that I might wear if it's a little bit more business-like and meeting with the, you know, the conservative types. So the conservative shoes or the young shoes. So I'll take this other shoe off and I'll show you now how, it's summer here at the moment, so I'm starting off in the summer condition, but I'm going to show you how you can build it up. Now, for the rude bit, you'll notice I've got a slight bruise on my thigh at the moment because I fell off of my bicycle recently and ouch. So that was a mountain biking accident a couple of days ago. Get it over with, have a look, it's pretty crummy but it's getting better. Alright, so these strides by Outlier. Again, they're nylon so that they don't wear through the crotch when you're riding them all the time. It really only takes about 2 months of regular riding to blow the crotch in a pair of pants. I'm taking tips here from, let me just put in some footnotes, a couple of books. One, Dressing the Man, can't remember the author, but great book. See how this shirt matches my eyes? Alright. Pick a couple of colours. Go with dark because you're always going to have a mechanical out there and there'll be some grease, and if you've got dark colours you're not going to stuff that up. And then pick a famous person. I look like that Prince Andrew guy, I've got his colouring, right? So pick a famous person whose colouring you share and look at pictures of them on the web and you'll see famous people dress pretty much in the same colours all the time because their stylists pick a colour that works with them. Matching your eyes always works, and if you're a redhead, it's pretty well known that green and blue work pretty well. So dark colours, lots of charcoal because of the grease thing, and lots of blue because it works with my complexion. You just stick with a couple of colours and just be done with it, okay? That's my philosophy. Alright, so these pants, okay, they won't wear out, and when they get rained on, the water's going to come through, and but they dry really quick. So when you get to the office, wherever it is that you're wet, don't worry about it. They'll be dry before you know it. Alright, so you got that. This is a new shirt, so I've got to do something about this one. Sorry, that was Dressing the Man. The other great book is called Sloane Style, and That's just a style manual for like Sloane Rangers, and it's a bit of a satirical book, obviously. But it just talks about things like, just roll your pants up, right? Just roll that one up if you're wearing a bike without a chain, riding a bike without a chain guard, and off you go. Just keep it simple. Anyway, this shirt's made out of cotton and merino, so again, you don't have that stinking thing, but it looks like a business shirt. I'm going to get the sleeves taken up because I've got short arms. So I'll show you that one. Again, the whole idea of the merino is that it doesn't stink, and it doesn't stick to you when you're sweaty in it, which is going to happen. On that point, I don't worry about a fully waterproof jacket. I've tried that, and you sweat more from the inside than the outside. You're better off just wearing these sorts of fabrics that are going to dry off and not stick to you when they're wet, and not be cold when they're wet, and get a jacket that's 90% waterproof. So this one by Cafe de Cyclist is really cool because it's cut for cycling, and it looks good, and it's pretty much waterproof. They call it waterproof, but it's not really. Eventually it's going to come in through the seams. But by the time it's coming in through the seams, let's hope that you're sweating more from the inside than the outside anyway. So it becomes a moot point. And if it's wintry, let me show you another little wintry apparel thing. Again, we're going with the merino. Why do I like a zip up the front? Because at least for this decade, my hair will be quiffed, and I don't want to mess it up. So that's a good little jacket, isn't it? Again, merino. This one's clever by Rafa because it's just got waterproof just there, so if you get caught in a shower, you'll be right, you know, unless it's really belting down, you'll be fine. Now, if it is belting down, what do? Well, how often is this going to happen? But every now and then you're going to have one of those piece of shit days where for whatever reason you've got to ride a long way in very heavy rain and you're just going to have a drowned rat day. If you've got one of those, cycling cap under your helmet really just keeps the water off of your eyes. You're always going to get some water down the neck, don't worry about it. But two things that are really cool on those drowned rat days. One, waterproof socks. Always worth packing. Overshoes and all of that, I don't recommend it. I just reckon a pair of waterproof socks in underneath. And where's that other item? Let me just show you one other thing. Leave the camera where it is there, I'll be back. They're not really the greatest thing to own, but soft shell trousers, again these ones are raffle ones, they're not bad, because if it really is raining and you're having to ride in the rain, you're going to feel alright outside riding. The only problem with these is when you get to the office and you get inside, you're going to feel a bit fungusy down there. You can do without that. Gloves, everyone's got a pair of gloves, don't they? Especially in the winter time. I like these Dramati gloves because I just think they look really cool, and I've got a pair of thin leather gloves underneath that I rip the lining out of, and that works for me right down to pretty cold weather. Yeah, one other thing here, I think I've gone through it all. Here in Australia, they make us wear helmets, and you know, for the most part, I'm happy to go along. So you have to kind of think to yourself, well, how the hell do we, you know, redeem this humiliation of having to wear a helmet? Well, I reckon humiliate yourself even more and stick these imitation side levers on, which are called cat ears, and they block out the wind, so that when you're riding with your little headphones in, you know, and you're talking to your friends or you're listening to podcasts or music, to be honest, these things are amazing. They actually block out the wind. And you can ride along and you can listen to your music at a regular volume and chat to people. Fantastic. Always match your belt to your shoes, you know that one. And that, oh, well, that, my dears, is just about it. I think I've got all the clothing there I need, apart from the stuff I'm going to sleep in, for any sort of trip. One last little thing, I like this bag. This is a Brooks bag. Okay, it wasn't the cheapest bag in the world, but it's pretty darn cool, I reckon, because when you hop on the plane wearing this one, everyone's checking you out. They're all thinking, they didn't give me a parachute. And one day I'm going to get a little a light and a whistle, just to stir them up a bit more. Okay, so that's what I reckon about clothing. And trust me, I've experimented, I've failed, and I've had things that have worn out, and that's just been, you know, just a disaster. It's nothing more tragic. Okay, hope that helped you. See ya.